Salma, because you were, I definitely had a match against the Phasmi. And that was definitely you, wasn't it? So, a nice pleasant little surprise that was, wasn't it? I think I'll call you Nuss, I think, in most cases, alright? I'll throw out the occasional anus here and there, you know, I'm not unreasonable. But, we'll do what we can on that, so... But no, I hope you're doing well, Benin. I convinced another real-life person I know everyone to watch these streams. It's one thing I've somehow convinced people online to, but yeah, how are we all this evening? It's been a few days since I've played this, so, you'll, kindly let me get my bearings right there again. In fact, do we... I think I'll have to turn that off. Cool. How far did we get into this? We were a good number of levels, weren't we? I know what you mean. I think I know what you mean, Xanthan. In case I don't, I am going to have to ask you to explain it to me as though I were a child. I hope that's okay. We'll figure something out on that, I'm sure. God, I thought I was above this. How are you, Xanthan? Did you, thinking I didn't see the end of your stream, did you get the shiny, not Woo Bat... What was that bat Pokemon? It's like Woo Bat, isn't it? In its first form. Gosh, I'm rusty on Pokemon. I can't remember if I ever tried to hatch shinies the way that you were doing. Shiny Noibat, that's it. Oh, blimey, fair play's still alive. That's the, that's a bit of a Souls-like game, I want to say, isn't it? Lords of the Fallen? Cool choice, though. Okay, so this is one of the cool things about this game. We've done this level already, but we terrorized our friend there. And we did it again. The poor sod. So, because of that, apparently this is a stuck version of the level, so... it's clever, because in a way, it's a way they can reuse assets, but they also actually do, to be fair to them, they get very... Oh, nice, you'll like this. Look, check this out. Hey, we got DK mode. Or Big Head mode. And this is from Rareware development staff, this game as well, so... the thing is, it is actually very distracting, but I did smile quite a bit when I saw that. And then immediately realised, oh, I can't... This isn't really very workable. I mean, it kind of is, but... Yeah, there we go. Just some top level. Oh god, I'm so bad at that. Thank you, Xanthan. Tell you what, I'll turn game sound down ever so slightly. How about that? There we go. Hopefully that's still, this game has a really good soundtrack, so you do want to hear it. I tell you what, every time I've streamed recently, I think every time without fail since, like, maybe December, I've left the Be Right Back thing on, or the Starting Soon thing. I'm doing very well, aren't I? That's okay. Yeah, it's the first time I'm streaming in oh god, I nearly said 2019. Oh, that's right then. I forgot about that. It always takes me ages to, like, you remember in school, right, and then your exercise book in class, that you had to write the date. The amount of times I'd put the previous date and then after. It's a hard life we lead, isn't it? Oh god, I didn't realise how often you had said that. So, oh gosh. Well, I hope you enjoyed that still alive. Nuss, when do you plan to stream Sims? I'll definitely try and get a few of my regulars in on that. What do you get up to mayhem in that? Actually, I can't remember. Did we... I'm sure. Forgive me. I'm sure you said. I'm trying to remember which version of Sims it was. I think it was the first one you were showing screenshots from, right? As well, which good at forgetting that worked on Windows 10. Actually, to be fair, for all I know, it's maybe not that difficult to, but I know PC games of that vintage tend to be. You tend to need to babysit them a bit. But yeah, so I do look forward to that. And yeah, this so funny for this game is that this game actually went free as well for a day on PC via the Epic Store. We might have paid I think 16 quid for it, which honestly I'm like, well, it's worth that, and I'm happy to support the developers because I really love this game. As I say, this is from X-Rare, a lot of X-Rare alumni. And this is basically them making a new Donkey Kong Country game, more or less. Which are obviously quite a bit right up my alley, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, I think we'll chip away. I probably will focus on this, and I've gone through like 5 different games I want to start. I want to get through the start of this year. Some more intimidating than others. There's stuff like the original Half-Life in there. God, what else was there? There was a retro game or two as well. There's a few bucket list games like Final Fantasy VI. I'm like, oh, I really need to get through those. And thus, if you're there, I'll hopefully be able to do an N64 game or two sometime as well. Just need to get N64 emulation. I've kind of got it working, but I think I mucked the settings up on it, so it's not quite as smooth as it should be. Ah! No, come back. Funny thing, this is kind of this is a bit of a Donkey Kong Country 2 thing, actually. I think this is honey on the walls. I think. I don't know what other voluptuous liquid of that colour that would evoke, but yeah, I think that's a DKC2 throwback, so nice one. But yeah, oh gosh. Hope we all had a good New Year's and all that. I might have been a bit drunk on cocktails, only a little bit. Only a little bit. Because I'm not drinking that often at the moment, I'm even more of a lightweight on drinks than I usually am. So that was fun. Highly recommended. Right, okay, here we go. Oh yeah, I've got this weird googly eye thing on the enemies, again a bit of a Rareware throwback. Kind of them poking fun at themselves for the Banjo-Kazooie style character design. But that does mean because of that the enemies take Nope, don't come in. Oh no! Yeah, that's my bat friend there, Laylee. She if we get hit, she goes flying about quite a bit. So it's quite forgiving in a way. If you get her back, you can just keep playing the level as if nothing happens. But that's a pretty big if. Not an if we just succeeded. And because we don't have it, we can't like ground pound or do a little mid-air hop fin. So that's fun. So do I want to keep hold of this? Ooh. Ooh. Okay. There we go, but if we go into that bell, we get her back again. Nice one. I think it's been a while since I streamed a platformer like this. They're definitely not my favourite kind of games. Especially when they're Donkey Kong Country styled, obviously. But yeah, I hope we're okay on audio sound balance. I don't know, I had one of those panics where I was listening over the last stream and I was just sort of... It's like, oh for God's sake, I'm mumbling again. So I'm trying to boost mic volume a bit to compensate for that. Sorry, bear with me a second. Sorry, just checking. Am I still on? Am I still online? I don't know why I saw something on my Kindle that suddenly made me worry the stream wasn't still on. That'll be a good start to the own. Okay, cool. I do often question the status of my mortality, you see. It's always a bit in flux. There we go. Cool. Well, drat, I've been found. Probably my fault for broadcasting to the world, really, isn't it? But yeah, Nurse, when do you thinking you might start streaming? I want to see some crazy Sims. Again, Sims 1, I think it was. I want to say, right? I want to see some Sims 1 malarkey. I was weirdly unfair to The Sims as a child. I had a weird kind of... I found it very irritating. I guess because my brother played it so much, and I really grew to hate the shop music. Cricket. Oh, blimey, really? Oh, that's a bit of a bugger. I haven't even thought about... That was obviously quite a big thing back in the day, getting a sound card. I imagine I guess it still is with certain... I don't know, I reckon crackly or bad sound though, I reckon that could enhance the sim language. The sim language sound, I think. I'd be game for that. Have them sound even more distant from planet Earth. Oh god, what? Fair enough. That'd be okay, but you pre-prepared some burn chambers. Is that what it says on the chin, Nurse? Are there gonna be any kind of voodoo... Is it voodoo doll where you... No, it's not voodoo doll. What's the thing where you, like, have a doll of someone and you poke it with a needle and they feel it? What is that? Basically, I'm questioning if you've got any Sims of real-life people, if you're hoping for that kind of... I don't know, for them to feel a slight burn on their wrists. How deep does this go? That's fair. Oh, it is a voodoo doll! Oh, well. See, don't question yourself, kids. There's a chance you might not be completely full of shit. Probably so in my case, really, but that's okay. Yeah, to be honest, I don't remember... So we're doing an altered version of the level here, right? I don't really remember the original one too thoroughly, so... As far as I'm concerned, this is basically a new level for me. Ooh, what's a... I should be careful in this space to describe things as tight, but that was a tight jump too. Again, the very Donkey Kong Country style one where you roll, jump right after. Oh, I've got it's been a little while since I played this. Maybe I think I wasn't planning to initially, but I think I thought I'd save it for streaming. At least playing through to the end, like probably not going for like 100% completion. I'll probably just do that my own time. But to be honest, a lot of my gaming time lately, oh gosh, has been getting kicked in the shins like that. No, there we are. Oh wait, they keep spawning, don't they? I thought that was taking a while. No, a lot of my gaming time has been taken up by the Link's Awakening, the Zelda Link's Awakening remake on Switch, which... I don't know why it took me so long to get to that. I am absolutely adoring it. I mean, the original Link's Awakening is probably, at least sentimentally, my favourite Zelda. It's certainly top 3. Obviously Breath of the Wild would go quite highly on that as well. But yeah, I'm overall really happy with the remake. There's a few things you can quibble at, definitely, but... Oh, such a stunning looking and sounding remake they did with Link's Awakening. I keep laughing at it all over again. I forget how weird a game it is, or how Many bonkers little ideas it has. Just definitely one of the things I've always liked about it. They do a lot of that. The Cricken. That is some very effective Jeff Yard puppetry. I mean, in the overworld sections on this, they're overhead, so it could kind of be, that could be a little bit along those lines. Oh, you found some real gems in the, you had on the Sims, even the box looked like it was the 90s, never said bad by most. Oh no! Oh, can you somehow send me a sample of what those sound like on your motherboards? I want to hear, even if it's not just sim talk, if it's just kind of any. I want to hear, as Cricken says, GBA quality. I mean, heck, they did GBA Sims games, right, as well. So maybe it could be compared to that. Oh man, I miss so many collectibles in these levels. It's, I keep talking in what sounds like an insecure manner that I've made peace with the fact I won't get every collectible at every level. Or the first run through, certainly. Sure. I look forward to it. I mean, we do have stupid sound effects on this stream you can enter via commands. Let's see if I get this, suffix reminder. Oh, I tell you what, actually, I think it's this one. You're like this. Oh, not that one. That's Dr. Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park. Oh, you might like that one, but... There we go. The problem is that gets played so often when I muck up in games, which is weirdly often. So I've just come to associate him with Ganondorf actively antagonising me. Not very nice. Hiya, Cumber! Sorry, I'm very slow on chat, as usual. I only just saw, how you doing, Cumber? Yeah, no worries, man. We'll see how this plays out, but my plan is to not stream for too long today. And if that's the case, maybe I can raid you on, the Dark Souls stream. Oh, that's right, I've got to follow a path to a dead end then. Yeah, I hope you do well. I'm really enjoying the, it's weird to think of Dark Souls as a nostalgia game, I guess. I mean, not even from when it came out, I'm talking from like 3 years ago when I played it. Did they actually come? But that sounds amazing. God, I didn't know they did that. I don't know, is that the I'm a bee song? Is that? Oh, that's cheeky. Look, the level exit is right above us. What a tease. I think it's, there's a really, one of the earliest Dragon Quest games. I think it might be the first one. I think it's Dragon Quest 1 where you can, like, see the castle you're meant to go to. And it's like, in games terms, it's like one square map, it's one square on the map across like a stream of water, but you just can't get to it. It's something like that, anyway. Hiya, Pasties! How you doing, man? Hope you're doing well, man. Are you playing Uncharted 3 tonight? I can't believe how quickly you platinumed the second one, man. You obviously had a good system going with that. After the, platinum in the first Uncharted. Hope you do. Oh yeah, hey, yeah, nice. How are you liking it compared to the first two? As I say, I was quite excited for those to hit PlayStation Plus, but my brother has the PS4 with him now. So you can play through Shenmue 3, so maybe in a month or two I'll get to play through those. I mean, I've waited like 13 years, so can wait a little longer. They did the Herbs soundtrack in Sim, yeah. Well, Herbs was kind of a spin-off, wasn't there? I remember that being a Game Boy Advance game that also got a DS version. Which I think was a launch game on there, actually. I guess... Actually, it's never really occurred to me. I guess that's urban? So it's Urban Sims? Is that correct? Does it have like Urban Planning in it or something? Okay. Oh, you know what? I think my brother actually, that same brother took the PS4 all back. I think he had a Sims Game Boy Advance game called Sims Busted Out, I think? To be honest, I kind of wonder how, could you customize Sims much on a... Because if it's on the Game Boy Advance, it'll obviously be 2D sprites, which, I guess you could get costumes on to some extent, but... I kind of wonder how flexible that is, really. Probably a fair trade-off just to get some sort of portable Sims, though. For the time. Yeah, this is a really Donkey Kong Country style level. It's reminded me a little bit of the... maybe not completely, it's reminded me a bit of the factory levels from DKC1. The GameCube... Oh, you don't build houses. Actually, I guess you build houses in regular Sims, really, don't you? So that wouldn't be that much of a stretch. Or at least build the... Well, I guess you don't... No, you do, really, don't you? Because you like, lay the... You lay the walls down and stuff, don't you? Oh, you think Uncharted 3 might be the weakest one? That's interesting. As I said, the general impression I get of Uncharted is people like the second one the best. And a few people like the third one the best, but a few also think it's a step down from 2. Oh, it sounds like you're positive on it still, you just don't like it quite as much. So that's pretty good still. Oh, that was weird. No, that was doing lots of bunny hops for some reason, have I? I was wondering if I messed up some sort of controller setting on that, but no, it's probably just being incredibly moronic. Nope. I keep thinking I can jump the entire height of that spike. No, yeah. Oh, there we go. I think it's because I'm pressing right against the wall, like, yeah. Oh god, that is actually really, okay. God's sake. That's a bit weird, actually. It's not really... Yeah, so if I hold right against the wall when I jump, or, like, at least if you try and jump when you're right against the wall, you don't jump as high. The problem is, as the wall, the spiky wall comes in, you inevitably end up next to the wall, so... It's a bit mean, really. I will not take responsibility for my idiocy. Cool. Lovely tune here as well. It sounds like bells of some description of the instrument. Oh, speaking of bells. Ooh. Yeah, this is meant to be quite a long game as well, I think, for a platformer. I think How Long to Beat has it as like 15 hours for a first playthrough. So they obviously pack quite a lot of content in there. I think it probably helps the overworld is quite involved and has a lot of Zelda-style puzzle solving. Ooh. Now, will that go to the left or will that just send me back? Ah, okay. Did I mention this was inspired by Donkey Kong Country? Oh, thank God. Okay, so going from here. Lovely. 2 AM stream confirmed. Guys, but I'll rise to that challenge, so stop stop saying I'll do that. Because I probably will. I'm trying to maintain a sensible sleeping pattern at the moment, so if I do that, I have really mucked up. Like, horrifically so. So let's hope not. Oh, nice, Cricket. Well, it's a shame none of those are on the... I'm surprised none of the Donkey Kong Country... Oh god, that was clever. I'm surprised none of them are on the Switch app, really. I assume they... If they're not in the next update, they do for that. We'll hope at some point. Ah! Yeah, so Uncharted 3 is really good, visually improved on the second, gameplay... Oh, cool, yeah, as I say, I know I believe that remastered trilogy on PS4 of the Uncharted games, I think it did, like... I think it kind of... what's the term I'm looking for? I think it sounds like Uncharted 1 in particular, it improved the aiming on, I want to say. I feel like I read something like that anyway. So I guess that probably kind of unified the games more in a sense. Ah! God. Probably should have practiced on this before stream. It's quite a tricky game, but then checkpoints are pretty plentiful. And we don't have any lives. I think you just sometimes lose the... I've never been quite clear on there, but you sometimes lose the feathers that you collect in this. Which those tend to become more of a factor on the overworld, I think. Cool. Oh god, right. So, there we go. And up. Ooh, see if I can... see if I can... get her. Like, there's a feather up there. How do I get that, then? God, I hope this isn't too painful to watch. Ooh. God. This is a really cool level, actually. I like me a good obstacle course. Especially one that I rush and then mess up on. But again, I suppose it's a bit Sonic-esque, actually, like in terms of the rinse system in Sonic, and that you can technically keep taking the hit over and over again, just as long as you pick up your means of... Oh, come on, I picked that up! Ah. Slightly fussy hit detection. Yeah, I mean, right off the bat with the SNES app on Switch, you had, like, Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Mario World, Yoshi's Island, Mario Kart. The last update was really good as well. It's cool just to see them, like, put in Star Fox 2, just feature that as if, you know, yeah, that's just part of the Nintendo canon now. Despite it obviously not being released, properly released originally. It's a bit rough to, I mean, the problem is because it's got like an all-range mode in the style of Lineup Wars or Star Fox 64. The camera does move about a lot, which at a Super FX frame rate of like 10, if you're lucky. It's a little rough, but I still think Star Fox 2 is really cool. I love the kind of weird mix of real-time strategy elements into it. It's a really odd direction they took with it. Quite reminiscent of the later DS Star Fox game, actually. They seem to take quite a few ideas from it. Oh god, damn it. Oh, nice comeback. Oh god, pasties. I mean, that's good you can use, it'll count it then even if you use infinite ammo, that's good. Is ammo really, well I was going to ask if it's really in low supply on the harder difficulties, but I think you said the only real difference is just how many hits enemies take. Or at least that's kind of the big one anyway. I still want you to someday do that. The Last of Us Platinum as well, pasties. I feel so bad for you that it's because of the trophies for the online mode and it being so rotten that you still not got that. One day, man. One day. That'll do. Gosh, we died a lot there. And I think we also didn't get many feathers because we died so much. We got a lot of the numbered coins though, which is good because we need those to get past certain gates on the overworld. Nice one. So we've got quite a few levels under our belt. Yeah, that's right, passing. Is that going to be ongoing though? Will so we could do that one. We'll come back to that though. Is it the altered? So that's like the altered version of the level we just did. We could do, but we'll come back to that. I think they're usually very different. To be fair. Hey. Oh, can have it look like a black and white film. Now, how do we get up there? That's the question. Oh, maybe we have to do that version as well. Actually, yeah, no, screw it, we'll go for it. My name is Mayo. Forgive me, what is that? I don't actually know. Got me intrigued with the name. Oh, so you're saying that you have to finish enemies with a punch trophy to get... Yeah, seems like, I mean, that wouldn't be the sort of... Oh, right, oh god, oh dear. I was like, why did she tell me to go the other way? Oh, right. Let's get to that, shall we? Fair point. Out of the way. Oh god, Jesus Christ, that's quick! Leave me alone, leave me alone! Okay, this is quite cool, actually. Oh god, Well, it seems to... Oh. Well, that was definitely worth it. Oops. Oh, that's right! Oh, pasties! You could... That could be one of your, That's a bit cheeky, really, isn't it? It reminds me... Oh, damn it. It reminds me of hearing about Little Big Planet 1 on PS3 that had, like, people made levels that just basically were avenues to get all the trophies in one fell swoop, more or less. So they expand them with the items you would need or something like that. Oh, gosh. Ooh. Oh, we'll come across a bell. For Laylee student. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, whatever. Ah! So I think this is more or less the level we just did in reverse, and with frightening pink laser fella trying to make things miserable for us. Oh, was that actually was that a box I could break through on that? Oh god! Oh god! Ah! No! Damn it! I was like, wait a minute, no, I don't want to be bouncing on these. Yes, we are. Just a little bit. Embarrassingly so. You've got nothing to... Wait, what was... You've got nothing... Yeah, so it's kind of like a super guide sort of feature. Which we'll try not to use. But I've got nothing against it being there. More about making games accessible and whatnot. It is funny to kind of, you can kind of read it as a challenge, like, are you really struggling with this bit? Which the answer is, bloody obviously. Ah, nice pasties. There's going to be quite a bit of scheduling, I feel like, for that. But then there are plenty of, like, online resources for gathering an idea of how long a platinum can take you and whatnot, aren't there? Ah, god. Okay, that definitely helps. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up! Oh, come on! Oh dear. This is really cool, but oh god, it's gonna take years off my life. Ah, I knew I should have jumped over that. Oh my god. We're not that far into this game as well. It's already, well, living up to its name, isn't it? Close enough. It's such fun. I love this kind of quick, speedy 2D platforming though, like this. Okay, there we go. We got a bit of a. There we go.
Ooh.
Cool. Okay, we got a bit of a lead there. Yeah, there we go. That's why I was a bit reluctant to try and. Ah! Oh, guppy. Well, after God knows how long we reached the first of probably like 6 checkpoints, so. I'll take all you can get, but. Oh man. God, they do hide those numbered coins cleverly. Sometimes I've. Oh, well, speaking of, there was one right there. Whatever, let's just try and clear this before I lose my mind. Too late. Cool. It's clever then, because they've. Oh, wait. Oh no! Very good. Well, this is in a way less stressful, at least so far. Ugh. It's just like threading a very reasonably thick needle. Oh, I almost bought that Commodores Burly Men at Sea on Switch, because it went really cheap in an eShop sale and I'd read good things about it. You recommend it, like, even aside from trophy hunting? As I say, that would have been on Switch. Ooh. There we go. Cool. Yeah, this bit's not too bad. The thing is, I'm being drawn to the laser on the left just because of that. Ooh, they hit that well. Oh, that's the. Oh, that's a secret exit. Oh, that's exciting. Well, it seems like just be like a bonus room or something, but yeah, we'll take that. How nice. Ah, here we are. So what's going on here? These pumpkins have been moaning about me the whole time while I've been here. Keep saying I shouldn't be here. There we go. Actually, yeah, I guess we didn't get a B at the end of that. Unless that's the B we'd get. Because you usually get a B at the end of the level, that isn't it going to help you out on the quote-unquote impossible there? Oh, I see, I guess because we did the secret exit. Oh, so we do actually have to do the level again, proper. That's okay. It seems like quite a quick one. Yeah, that should be in your library passes, because you tend to redeem everything, don't you, on there? Could you guys also reassure me, are we doing alright on the boring technical stuff on the stream? Game footage isn't choppy, my voice isn't too annoying, but it's also loud enough while you can still hear the game audio well. And don't be afraid to tell me off if I'm mumbling. I should not be mumbling. See, I wonder if that's a numbered coin, maybe.
I would really prefer it.
Fair point. There we go. That's fine. Ooh. Ah, that's not fine. Thank you. Yeah, I've been really lucky Screw it, I'll call you by your actual username. I'd be very lucky, Anus. Oh god, that's hard to do. I've kind of gotten into a little streamer community here on Twitch. Because I'm surprised that people... I get people willingly showing up to these things. Really sweet of them. And it's just something that's I've kind of gone into the past year or so, as I say. It's oh, there's the 2 coin. Actually, yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll take that here. We'll see if we can get that 2 coin. Yeah, it's just fun just to add a little social element to playing a game like this. Ah! The problem is, though, if you die a lot, people get to see it. They're not too mean about it. I hope. Ooh. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. So has anyone here been watching, oh god, come on. Ah, whatever. That was not worth all the times I died on that. It's a really cruel placement, that. Right, let's get that 2 coin, nice. Yeah, has anyone been watching Games Done Quick, which, for those who don't know, that's the charity speedrunning event that's become really huge, that they stream every year. There's been some really cool stuff. I really enjoyed the Sonic block where they did stuff like Sonic Colors or the Sonic CD race, which I pointed that out in someone's. Damn, I missed that again. In someone's stream chat earlier, but I love the guy dressed as Dr. Robotnik in the background of the Sonic one. He was cheering every time something went wrong in one of the Sonic runs. Which is a very fun way to get into character. Especially because of the inevitability of, well, these are people who know these games inside out, so they are inevitably going to beat them. So whatever happiness that audience Robotnik has will be short-lived. Poor soul. No, you go with your gut, and if your gut is anus, you go with that. That's going to end up as a motivational quote on a t-shirt, isn't it? I can live with that. Who has told you to change your name? Oh no! Oh, damn it! I didn't take that into account. Well, usernames are valid. At least the ones without, like, slurs in them, but then those don't tend to get accepted anyway. I mean, something like anus is the fun kind of quote-unquote offensive, isn't it? Not the kind that's harmful, really. Maybe harmful to one's appetite, I don't know, but... That's okay. It's a sign... Yeah, exactly! Yeah. Oh god, come on. Oh god. Oh gosh, no. God, I almost got distracted by anus there. I'm sorry, I thought I was better than this. I'm not, clearly. God damn it. It's not an easy thing to come to terms with that you're trash. Okay, so... Oh no! Oh, we died like an inch... like a pixel from the checkpoint. I was just about to say, oh, this is the part of the level we haven't seen yet. And we still haven't seen it. God damn it. It's because I'm so excited to get to it. Damn my childlike mind. Hiya, Fireball! Oh, really, Cricket? Oh, gosh. Oh. That's funny, a moderator of all positions. How are you doing, Fireball? What were you streaming earlier? Because I took notice of the game name. I was a bit gutted I wasn't actually able to watch the stream of the year. What were you streaming earlier? It was definitely a game of... Is it... Forgive me if I'm wrong. Have you been doing Shenmue, I want to say? Look, I've hit the third one. Right. Okay, there we go. Thank God. Speaking of Jesus or God. Well, I don't know if God was a hobo. Ooh. Notice we've got a pretty chill tune here as well to offset how quietly maddening this level is. But it's maddening in a fun way. It's in that, ooh, I'll get you on the next go. Kind of frustrating, not the, oh god, why am I subjecting myself to this kind of frustrating. Oh god, not again! Oh. Oh god. Ooh. God, what is it with pink lasers and always terrifying me in every capacity of my life? Oh! Okay, there we go, the laser did the end of the level for us. Oh no, fireball! Oh, that sounds like the most Shenmue thing ever, to be honest. Like, replaying the same bit over and over to try and get the odds in your favour. Oh gosh. You've had your username. Actually, you know what? Actually, I've had my username rejected on Street Fighter V because Jasm wouldn't take Jasm. I think because he was just taking this exemption to AZZ as if it was assuming I was trying to say something else for that. But you can probably assume if that's coming after J, that's. I don't know, maybe they didn't want people putting in Hugh, H-U-G-H, Jazz. But even then, that'd be a Simpsons reference. Harumph. Wait, was this the dead? Oh yeah, this was the dead end, nice. That was the thing the sign was pointing to earlier. Cool. So yeah, we haven't seen too much for this stream, but the overworld of this game is really cool. Oh, this one's still alive. What are you playing there, Lords of the Fallen? Was that a PS3? Was that one of those games that came out on 360 PS3 and PS4 Xbox One, or am I thinking of something else? For some reason I feel like it was. Oh yeah, I'll buy a hint. Windy Canyon not far from here. Dropping my controller. Gonna break it someday. Character there, hold. Oh. I'm skipping through this too quickly. Right, so Windy Canyon. Character there holds this location in their mind. To use their head to reveal the. I'm going to take that as a very literal way of using someone's head. They're quite fun, actually. What was those? Where is it? Oh no, where is it? Oh, I can't remember where it is. There's a switch. Oh no, I think it might be up here actually. Oh no, it's here. It goes. Like, look at this. They get sad when we've ruined their fun. Yeah. It's fun constantly exhaling, I guess. But yeah, it's also in our way, so we need some sort of way to. I guess we just need to push a box on that. Where do I box? Oh, I think I probably get confused because I think Lords of the Fallen was like a relatively early game this generation, but yeah, it might not be like a cross-gen game like I'm thinking of it as. You got it really cheap in a sale, oh nice. Good find on that. Oh, can I go out that way maybe? But yeah, this overworld section's very cool. It's a bit Zelda-y, I suppose. I mean, obviously the top-down perspective might make you think of earlier top-down Zeldas. Oh, come on. It's a really cool, there's some really cool inventive ideas in this game. Like, one of them is this overworld. I can't really think of any other... Ah, here we go. Trying to move Yooka across. Finally. Been waiting bloody ages to... Wait, no, is it there? Oh, I guess not. Wait! That one said, do you like fanfiction? Oh gosh, they couldn't resist the pun, could they? I don't know, how much Yooka-Laylee fanfiction is there? Maybe that came from them reading fanfiction.net and seeing what scribes people have done on these two. Pretty much 90% of the humour in this game is puns, which does work for me. Unfortunately, it's not as funny as Hat in Time, the last platformer. Like, that was especially a very surprisingly funny little game, to be honest. But... Oh, this was one of the other fans. Yay! Ah, there we go. Flower hour. It's every hour of the day for me. So I think was it this one, I think. There we go. Yeah, no worries at all about Yooka and live combo. As I say, so I've been on for nearly an hour. Yeah, well, I'll probably go on for an hour more, I think, at least, and then... The only thing I'd imagine with trying to platinum Undertale is, doesn't the genocide route... That takes quite a lot of grinding to get through, doesn't it? I don't know if that would be a point of contention, but then... To be fair, it probably wouldn't be grinding. It wouldn't be that bad grinding by the standards of how many platinums are. Oh, sorry, Fireball. It is Shenmue 3. Yeah. Oh no, sorry, we were talking about that, weren't we? Yeah, Fireball. I am very fond of Shenmue. I also kind of do poke fun at it a little bit because there's a lot to poke fun at in Shenmue, but I've got a big soft spot for it still. I'll be finally playing for the second game proper at some point this year. I played both of them as a kid, but I didn't finish either of them until the remaster came out. So I finished one shortly after that came out, and I've still not played 2 properly on it. Those 2 blow me away. Oh god.
Did you happen to see a black car that day?
A black car?
It's how many of us got these kind of jokes with Christmas crackers over the festive period? It just feels like we're around the table and we're all just groaning at the jokes in our crackers all over again. Oh, really? Still alive? Oh, wow, that's quite forgiving, actually. Oh. Groovy little tune yet. Can you guys hear the game sound well enough? Because I have turned it down a bit. Hopefully you can hear it well, because it's a really nice soundtrack. And oh wow, this is very... There's a lot of DNA of the recent Donkey Kong Country games in this as well. And there's a stage in the last Donkey Kong Country game, Tropical Freeze, which... Well, it's basically just that it has windmills as well, really, so... Like, even with platforms like this. Although that was a more lax kind of level in Tropical Freeze. This one's a bit more... Gale-y, which I guess you'd expect. Lovely. So we came across some cool stuff there, but there wasn't really a quote-unquote collectible. Is that what we're... Oh, cool, okay, so you can still hear the music well and whatnot, nice. That is never a... like, audio balancing is never something I'll be very confident at in terms of streaming. It just feels like such a fine line between getting it right and then... Oh god, I didn't realise there was bottomless ground below us though. There we go, oh gosh. Lovely. Yeah, the problem is I've just gone back to I've gone back to rehear a lot of older streams and then winced when I'm like, I can't tell what I'm saying. If I can't, what bloody help does the audience have? Maybe it's more that I need to enunciate more, I don't know. More so than questions of audio balance. Cool. So yeah, there's weird like the big primary coloured feathers. They all do their own little tricks, even though. The funny thing is, in the 3D ukulele game, those were like the Jinjo analog. So you'd have to find, like, as in like, so the Jinjos from Banjo-Kazooie, so you'd have to find 5 of them in every level. But a bit more horrifying than Jinjos, to be honest, who were a little, perhaps a bit cuter. Let's have a look. I don't know how people who stream from PC. You don't know. Yeah, no worries, still alive. Give him my regards, and if he's still on when we finish, which, as I say, will probably be for another hour, perhaps we'll be able to rate him. But yeah, no worries. Thanks so much, still alive. I don't know how people who stream on PC can consistently. I've sort of got a system in place with it. It's I know what you mean, like, streaming off a console does sort of take some of the load off in terms of, 'cause I swear as well, like, Streamlabs, the software I use, which, allows my bot to work, basically, and also the silly sound effects. I swear that sometimes causes hitches in games, at least if I have it open. Which is a bit of a shame though, because it's got a really handy chat log window on it, and it also shows the list of viewers, which of course is usually half bots half the time, but so I tend to have it minimized because of that. I think it does anyway. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe it's been probably something I have to test a bit more. I mean, not quite sign language, but I did at one point try to get auto-generated subtitles working. Not the same way. I remember Peds did something like that. It wasn't quite the same way he did it, because I think those were incorporated as part of his stream. I just tried to use a setting on OBS, basically, that would auto-generate subtitles, and then you could pick that on Twitch. Obviously, they're not going to be right 100% of the time, and there'll probably be some funny, amusing, non-sequitur phrasing that'll come from those, but it'd be quite nice to get it working still, as just to have something there, but when I tried it, I think it was just generating nonsense, or just like one letter over and over again. So probably something I need to do a bit more to set it up, I think. Oh god. Leave me alone! There we go. Yeah, it's a lovely looking game, this, as well. It's obviously quite a, you know, this is not one of the most expensive games or pieces of media ever made. But it gets by with, like, charm, a really nice, appealing style, and looks really nice on my TV. There we go. As I say, it's quite cool with this, because it seems like whatever platform you play it on, you get a really good experience. Like, all of them, including the Switch ones, sound like they look and run really nicely. Which is, you know, that's the ideal, really, isn't it? Game is good no matter where you get it. So, how do I get down? Oh, maybe I missed my chance for that. There, well. Ooh. Oh god, no, no! Damn it. Cricket. Just a bit, get a bit of, seemingly on-the-fly ad-lib in. Because as good as voice recognition software has gotten over the years, it's... inevitably there will be foibles one way or another, won't there? Yeah, I don't know how to get down there. Ah! Oh, cool. But I mean, it's probably me projected a bit, because I always put subtitles on when I'm watching TV or films at home. And secretly would be happy for them to be on at the cinema as well. I suspect not everyone would. I mean, I know they do, like... They do closed caption screenings. Funny enough, actually, I remember Pasty seeing Spider-Man 3 with him. Yeah, what do we do with that then? How do we get that? Oh wait, no, you can jump on those, can't you? Okay. Yeah, no, sorry, so I remember seeing Spider-Man 3 with Pasties, and we didn't intend for it to be, but that was actually a closed caption screening. It's a really weird experience seeing subtitles in the cinema. I don't think I had that again until I saw the Studio Ghibli film, The Wind Rises. I think I saw that twice in the cinema. Once the dub, and once the subtitle version as well. There we go. We missed quite a lot of stuff there, but c'est la vie. Would you stop terrorising this little sniff? Thank you. Off into the fields of wheat you go with Theresa May. Sure. Was that the first coin we... Oh no, okay. I don't know why, I thought that was the first coin we got on this level, but we had gotten the other through. Fair enough. Yeah, pasties. Yeah. I mean, the bigger problem was that it was low-hanging fruit, especially in 2020, but the bigger problem was that it was Spider-Man 3, really, wasn't it? Wait, what killed us? Because I heard both you killed... What, did we get squashed there? Oh, that was odd. Well, that's not set us back far, so... Oh, God! Well, I know what killed us there, we just got sent flying, but... Oh well. Oh, Cricket, how have your Simpsons Hit and Run streams been going? I'm gutted I keep missing those, because I've got very fond memories of that game. How well is it holding up? Because I'm sure it's, like, clunky in a few aspects, probably, but... Still, it does go above the Call of Duty, doesn't it, especially for, like, a Simpsons licensed game, which are usually... Even by the standards of licensed games, those are usually really bottom of the barrel Simpsons games. There we go. Cool. Alright, so I hope I don't regret this, but there's a feather... Oh, was it the other one? Yeah, here, so... Fingers crossed. I think that feathers indicates I can jump down there and I won't die. That's usually a thing in Donkey Kong Country games where they'll put a collectible to entice you. So here goes. Okay, good. I read the game language correctly, good. And then... Oh no, there we are. That would have made for good comedic timing if I died there, but frankly I'm okay with the fact I didn't, but I died there because I confused something in the background for a platform. Ah! Oh, darn it. Whatever, we can probably do this bit quite quickly at least. I bet I assume this isn't this year's game, or the current game's done quick. I hope this shows up at a future one. I know the original Yooka did. This game would make for a really good speedrun, I think. There we go. Let's not die this time, shall we? Let's be so radical! Okay. I take that back. Nice, Crooked. Yeah, I'll have to, because I played it originally on the original Xbox. I mean, it's been too long for me to remember how well it ran. I seem to remember it being surprisingly quite smooth, actually. I don't know how that might have varied across consoles. Ooh. That's alright. Thank you, anyway. But I was very close to doing this bit legit, and then I mucked up, so... Oh, God, I keep... I really need to wait for that. Yeah. Nothing like a bit of getting your James Jonah Jameson, or Jane Jonah... No, James Jonah... No, his first name isn't James, is it? Is it J. Jonah Jameson? I should be more confident for that, given how much I like that character. God, they went wild with him in the Spider-Man PS4 game. Made him like a reactionary nuts of a radio host, which was sort of both very funny and also a bit upsetting, like, oh no, he's actually really, really awful in this world. They had some very funny lines with him. But yeah, it's so nice that, thanks to, because you always have to hope for a mod for all PC games of that vintage, don't you? So that's great, you can kind of bump the resolution up on it, add the feature to skip cutscenes, yeah. That is great, fair play. Oh, cool. So what part of the... So I guess we haven't been down here too much? Oh, I could go through here. Is this... Oh no, I think it's been I think no, I haven't played this since right before the new year, actually. Oh yeah, we kind of ruined this guy. we might have knocked his teeth out, give or take. Hey, it happens, we've all been there. Don't you pretend otherwise. Oh, what are these? Old. I don't think I actually realised he... What, was he in... I haven't seen the second Spider-Man movie. I'm really behind on Marvel stuff. On the Marvel Cinematic Universe films. Was he... I didn't know they actually had him in there. Because I kind of just assumed everyone was just... after they got him down so perfectly with... oh god. Oh, what's that actor's name? I like him a lot. The one from the Raimi trilogy who played J. Jonah Jameson. He was in Whiplash as well. Oh, that's brilliant. J.K. Simmons, thank you. Yeah, no, I like him a lot. He was so good as that role. I just assumed they were too scared to recast it, because that's a tough act to follow. I think even like the biggest critics of the Raimi films couldn't argue against how good he was in those. Yeah, let's try activate that one. Oh, what's down here actually? Oh wait, I think I vaguely remembered to. Oh no, I think I did do this bit briefly. Ah, so I probably did everything there. This is the problem with leaving the game for a little while. I mean, I actually could watch the other stream I did on this for reference, so... Yeah, no worries, Pat. What time is it? 8:45. Yeah, no worries, man. As I say, the plan is to not go too late, but... I hate that a 2 AM stream isn't completely impossible. It's not happening, I swear it's not, but... But yeah, no worries until pasties, thanks so much. Yeah, no... Okay, I need an explosive... I need an explosive berry. Where have we got one of those? That's cool. So yeah, you spent quite a bit of time in this overworld. Which is kind of a... it's almost a bit of a risky, because you can imagine not everyone would be down with that. It looks like it kind of all arcs on itself in very clever ways. Yeah, you can see we still quite a bit of it we haven't explored, so... There we go. Yeah, kind of. So I'm using a different kind of rendering on to stream, right? Which involves my CPU quite a bit. It's basically to justify me having bought that really expensive new CPU. According to this, I haven't dropped any frames. I don't know if that's because it's much less demanded on my internet, or... It's making me think I could probably bump the quality up on it a little bit. Although the only thing is that might end up being quite, Ooh. That's alright, I know that. Thank you anyway. Yeah, I think... So, admittedly, if it looks like I'm wandering about faffing a bit, it's because I'm not completely sure what the next... Like, I keep forgetting if I've been in areas or not, if I've done everything there. But yeah, that CPU rendering mode I use, that's really taxing on the CPUs, so I think for any games that are really CPU intensive, I probably won't be able to use that. I'll have to use the one that relies on the GPU more. Which is generally the one they recommend, as it's much less demanding. Oh, I think I did pop into this area briefly. I don't think I did any levels here, really. I would pay good money for real life version of those towels. How fun. Oh, it's the cannon fella. Oh. Oh. Oh, actually, yeah, we need you to blow up the fin behind you. Oh, you actually did. Oh, fair play. Yeah, there is no fourth wall in the Banjo-Kazooie style of writing, which this is very much inherited. Yeah, I forgot it's been a while since I've played that last game, but... There we go! God, I hope that wasn't too painful for it. Oh. Well, it hasn't even really acknowledged it, so I assume that's alright. Right, what about you? Do you remember where the first game began? Oh god. What, is that area in this? Don't throw in the towel, you'll find this. Oh, wow, okay. Oh, it means the towels. Right. What, so is this from the first? Oh yeah, this is their weird little home, I guess? From the first game. Oh, that's quite fun. Yeah, I remember this now, because it's on the title screen for the first ukulele. Oh, that's fun. There we go. Oh, that's the Game Boy. Okay, we gotta try that. Well, it's a bit weird though, because you find those tonics, then you actually have to quote unquote buy them. We need to use the feathers for some. The Game B. Oh gosh. That's quite cute actually as well. I think that the price of that, I think that's a reference to the Game Boy Resolution. Which is something by 144, I think. That stands out in my mind. So we've got to try that, and that'll look amazing. With the Game Boy colours as well. We'll probably do that for like 10 seconds, be like, oh, that's really neat, and then sort of be like, oh, it's actually a bit hard to play like this. Still very cute though. You'll love this one, my boat. Oh. So usually they give kind of, not cryptic hints, but usually hints with a bit of figuring out to them. This one basically just said, yeah, the treasure's right behind me. We'll take it. Oh god, they're all nostalgia ones here. What's this TV ratio one? Oh, we gotta get that. So that one doesn't affect anything, but it just leaves flowers behind when enemies die. That's nice. Yeah, some of these are like, you got the upside down one, which... God bless anyone willing to disorientate themselves that much. I don't think you'd count me among them, but... What's the TV ratio? There we go, so it's just... screw, not even the 2010s, if we're going back away, or the 20s, as in the modern 20s, not the 1920s, that's going to get confusing very fast. We're going back a couple of decades. Or we will if I can. Oh no, actually wait, can we go left here? No, we can't. No, we've kind of looped around on ourselves, which is nice in a way, because we've kind of just opened up more paths on the overworld. But I also don't know where to go next. A boat. Oh, if we get you to turn around... Is there any reason to have... do that? What does that accomplish? I mean, I aimed at our house. Well, quote-unquote house. Sort of this weird ship complex they've got. Yeah, it's obviously a path to go there, but... To be fair, we probably haven't done every level we can as is. I could have some sort of bomb thing somewhere I can use on that. Let's have a look. Oh, is there a thing here? Oh, okay, so we need to get up there on the right. How do we... Well, that's something we could have done much sooner than we had, but again, there's a cool bit of non-linearity to this, which I quite like. So the controls nicely. It's a little... You barely jump at all in it, so you kind of have to make peace with that. I can kind of see why they've done it, in terms of how they've designed it, but it does, like, that looks like we'd be able to jump that high, you know, so you do have to kind of make peace with that. Yeah, that's quite a cool case. Like, the ways you affect the levels are quite clever. Like that one, you end up drowning it by opening this dam up. So that's really neat. Oh, I see there's a secret exit there to get that bee up there. Now that I understand how those work. Oh no, am I? Am I dropping frames? According to OBS, I'm not. I don't know if, yeah, that's weird. Sorry, man. I'm not really sure what that is, man. I don't know if, Oh. How does it look now? Is it, I can pick this up. Oh, yeah, Hobby, that's it. Can't I push that? Well, does it seem alright now? Did it just look a bit choppy? I mean, the game's running fine on my end, as far as I can tell. As I say, according to OBS, I haven't dropped a frame tonight, which... again, I guess that CPU way of streaming it's much more demanding on the CPU, but I guess it's either not that demanding on the internet, or I'm just not pushing it high enough. I don't know. Maybe both. Oh, it was just my friend, was it? Yeah, some of those are quite, like, some of them are kind of give you hints, some of them just outright tell you what you need to do, but we'll take either. I don't know why, I find that container, like, they've clearly kind of used, like, animated textures for the bees in there. There's something weirdly unsettling about it to me. I can't quite put my finger on it. Just those, you can tell they're at a lower... They've got a lower number of animation frames. There's bees stuck in there. There's slightly frightening faces on them. Oh. So we'll do that, but we'll get this fin here first. Okay. Blockbuster film. What does? What's that? Give it like blue and yellow filtering, like every movie poster has. Seriously, look that up. So many movie posters use like contrasting blue and orange color schemes, where it makes sense in a way because those colors clash really well with each other, but you also can't unsee it once you realize how common it is. Oh god. Oh, well, that's why they're fighting the bad guys. Yeah, you can so obviously tell it's like an N64 game in that sense. You can tell those are you can tell those are 2D sprites, but in kind of a charming way. Yeah, it's affected this level and presumably made it a lot more annoying. So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, quite. But it turns out they're not actually bees after all, so my bad. Right, so let's see what the hell this looks like. Oh my god! Oh wow, enjoy that. Now we need to run. Oh my gosh. Let's see how far we can get like this, actually. God. For some reason I'm dropping frame rate a lot when it's like this. Oh yeah, I think this is actually weirdly... I think the game is finding this more demanding to render than the game usually is. What the hell mode is causing that? Let's turn these off one at a time. There we go. That's a bit more readable, isn't it? Yeah, for some reason, that mode that was, like, really demanding... That was, like, the Game Boy resolution was seemingly putting more work on the graphics card, so it was causing frame rate drops. Go to the 4x3. I see that's just putting black bars on the side so you can see less of the screen. It's a cute throwback, but it's also like, well, we can see less now, so... See if we can play the level like this, though, why not? This is all you need, man. 4 beautiful pea soup, people always go to pea soup when they describe the Game Boy, colour scheme. I can kind of see it. Yeah. This is the Donkey Kong Land 4 I always wanted. Especially because I wanted it to start a comedian and a bat. I was a troubled child. It is surprisingly readable like this. They seem to have been quite... I don't know what method they're using to make the colours track, but... They seem to generally be making foreground stuff darker shade. Hiya, how? Hello! How are you? The game doesn't usually have this colour filter. This is a weird thing I've put on. I swear it's for a good reason, honest. How are you doing, How? Happy New... Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, Happy New Year to everyone in here, actually. Sorry, I should have said that sooner, really. Hope you've all had a good New Year. Yeah, that's, as fun as that is, we'll turn that off. We'll turn the one that makes flowers appear when enemies die on. That's quite fun. Yeah, sure, why not? There we go. It's a bit more, less nostalgic, but perhaps a tiny bit more readable. Ooh. Ah. Thank you. Yeah, Happy New Year. Do anything nice for New Year's, How? And stay, and if any of us did stay in for New Year's, that's completely fine too. It's quite nice just to relax with the New Year in, I think, as well. Ooh. Oh god. Ooh. And again. Cool. Oh, cool. Met friends. That's very nice. Oh, wow. Well, I spent my New Year's dying in this game a lot. Well, at least at the start of the decade as well. I still can't get used to that. It's a new decade as well. That's weird to me. 2010 in my mind is not that long ago. But it is, it's a decade ago. How does the passage of time work? Can someone help me out on that? Yeah, it's the sad inevitability of time just seeming like it goes quicker and quicker the older you get, isn't it? Which I read was kind of due to the idea that the more familiar we are with something, the quicker it can go by. If that makes sense. So I guess when you're a child, the passage of time just seems so. Oh god! Ah. There's so many of these bloody things. But they're sprouting loads of nice flowers. But that doesn't make up for the fact we died right before the checkpoint. Cricken. Oh, nice, How. I'm a big fan of that game's developer. I think Supergiant, they're called. They've made games, was it Bastion? I've played a bit of their second one as well, Transistor. I think they did Pyre after that, and yeah, I've heard Hades is really good. Is it a bit Diablo-esque, Hades, or a bit like Diablo, or am I thinking of another game? Because I think it's kind of a loot-based game. I think I've heard so. I know it's a change of pace from them, because they usually do kind of story-based games that are... You know, you beat them in like 4 to 6 hours or so, and then you're done, but... I think I've read Hades is meant to be quite a bit longer and more involved than that. Ah. Right, so how do I get across, I see. Oh, look at all the nice flowers these horrible demonic spawn are generating. How nice! Right, let's get to a checkpoint already before we have to do this bit again. Oh, come back, Laylee, come back! Oh, fine. Well, we'll definitely get to the checkpoint unless something ambushes us here. There we are. Thank God. Ooh. Okay. Oh God, no! I really should have been prepared for the fact I'm going to stream this game. It's how many embarrassing deaths I'd have for the world to see. Oh god. You can't blame me, look how many of them there are. It's a roguelike game and it's really hard, is it? Oh god. Well, speaking of games I've died a lot.
20 ticks, and that was the best one.
Yep. I feel like it will be 20 takes I've done on this level before we... before we're done with it. Oh god, there's just so bloody many of them. I'm not sure if, this seems quite similar to this level when I did it before, like, it's been a while. I think it might be the same just with the enemies. I think, I'm not completely sure. Well, they've calmed down a bit here. I keep thinking as well, so we've got this, because we're a comedian, we can do a Yoshi-style ton out. And because it's reminded me of Yoshi, I keep thinking you could gobble up enemies with it, but not quite. Oh good, we missed that. Oh, so we need to finish a bit of that. Yeah, no, of course not! That's no problem. And please mute my stream if it becomes distracting during that, if you're, if you mean like a video you're editing or something like that. But no, not at all. I think a lot of people do that with streams, have them on in the background while they do something. So absolutely, go for it. Have these sweet tunes of ukulele to ensure a nice painless editing process. And then me swearing a bit because I die a lot. Cool. Yeah, I need to... looking for an item I need to get a secret down there, but... maybe I need to carry it from earlier. Oh gosh. God. I'm quite glad, because I had that tonic on earlier that gave the enemies double health. I'm quite glad I haven't got that on at the moment, because good lord, look at them. There we go. Oop. That'll do. Thank god. Oh, cricket. Thank you. Oh, maybe that was the inspiration for it, Kraken. Or maybe this inspired that in some sort of time vortex causing strangeness. Oh, actually, I've seen the bit at the top right of the area. Oh, wait, there's that. Okay. Okay, I actually know where we can go next now. So I think this character is an octopus woman goldfish bowlhead scientist? Good on her. She invented this beautiful thing, so she's doing very well. If I remember, in the first game, she's like Mumbo Jumbo from Banjo-Kazooie, basically. She transforms you into various creatures. One of my favourite ones was in the first ukulele, you could become a school of fish, which I remember they represented very cleverly visually. It's quite a novel idea, just controlling like so many fish at once. Hi, Joa. Yeah, she was. There's a lot of returning players in this actually. How you doing? Oh god, my voice cracked then. Hello again, teenagers. How you doing, Joa? Hope you're doing well, sir. Just starting the year off with a nice bit of light-hearted platforming. That's also pretty difficult, to be honest, so I'm dying a lot. It's really embarrassing, Joa. But we're enjoying ourselves, so that's okay. Although actually, I thought there might be somewhere in the top right corner we could go here, but I think instead it'll be, I remember now, because basically there's, another returning character from the first game is setting up toll booths everywhere, basically. Like, very knowingly, just as kind of a gross sort of, money-making scheme. Like, as far as I know, he doesn't have the permit to do any of this. Like, here we go. There he is. Oh god, these 15 coins as well. 15 twit coins. Is that what they call in pounds these days? Oh, thank you. Yeah, happy new decade, Joe. Happy new year / decade. Do you have a nice festive period, Java? I've not been streaming much the past few weeks for probably obvious reasons. I've been showing up in stream chat a bit, but like on other people's streams, but is he taking credit for that? But we would have gone past this point sooner if he hadn't put that silly gate up. Oh, hello. Good lord, what a... We're in the desert now. My sister locked herself in here after her dad asked to check on the pipe works. Oh. I gotta deal with family disputes, RPG side quest style. Yeah, it's not quite as witty as, say, Hat Time, but I don't know, there's lots of silly puns in this, and a jovial sense of fun to it. I don't know, maybe I'm easily impressed. But it's making me smile a lot. We don't. Okay, that's quite fun. We don't drink coffee with mugs. I don't know. Is mug a British slang? Does that play overseas? Is the idea of someone being a mug? Is that Jazzy with Santa? Bitcoins. It might as well be with. Well, actually, I think bitcoins are legit. They're just bizarre and. And possibly prone to crashing, although they had surprising resilience, actually, bitcoins. Hi, Belly. I was so close to saying hi, Grom, then, and then I read the chat. It's like, oh. It's been a while. It's been a while, actually, Belly. I hope you're doing well, man. And happy New Year and all decade. Well, and decade, not and all. Oh, nice, he's going to upgrade how many... Ah, so he won't do it now, but it means so we can have a 4th tonic on. That's fun. Have we still got the, Yeah, I'll show you guys these fun, but also very impractical tonics we got before... Oh gosh. Those are not functioning irises, or at least not correctly functioning irises. God, what kind of existence do you have to lead as a pipe with cognitive capacity? Like, is there much you can... I mean, the hills have eyes in the cuddly way in Mario games, so, I mean, like, what do they do, really? I mean, do they feel purpose in life? When you're a completely static object, what do you do with that?
Here lies, struggling to be free.
Thank you, Belly. Oh, you had some good news that your brother's fat. Oh, you get a nephew! Uncle Joe. Actually, wait, no, you're already an uncle, aren't you? Because you've got nephews. You get another nephew! Hey. Oh, that's lovely, Joe. Congrats to them. Oh, he's gonna have Down syndrome. Oh, bless him. But you know what? I worked with Down syndrome kids. They're the sweetest little things, I swear. Made me smile and laugh so many times. They're so sweet-natured. And yeah, wishing them the best of luck with. I hope there aren't any complications with. I've heard people say like giving birth is just like, or like the process of getting a child is so. Well, not the genesis of the process of getting a child. Oh God, I should have found a better way to word that. But the actual like, going up to the birth of the child, that stuff is so exciting and, as you say, also quite frightening in that way. But nah, it'll be a little legend. I assure you of that. So that'll be your third nephew, I want to say, right, Jara? There you go. Ooh. See, oh god, that! Oh no, look how distraught they look! Well, I'm not one to let down pieces of paper, so... These are really cool, actually. These are just like little single screen, little single screen challenges. There we go. To be honest, that's the first time we've died on one, actually. They've not been too bad so far. That one wasn't too bad, honestly. I just mucked it up. There we go. Yeah, well, it has been a while. It was at a... It's what I don't know if I explained that properly, sorry. It was when I was a teaching assistant, basically. It's when I was a teaching assistant working at a school. I often worked with children with special needs. And yeah, there were some really delightful Downs kids there, bless them. Hello, Paul. How are you, sir? Hope you're well. And play the Donkey Kong 64 sound effect on what is basically a modern Rareware game, give or take. That just feels so right. And that sound effect already just feels so right as it is. There you go. This is what I mean, like, hold on. This is what I was talking about. I would move about and explore this area, but I'm a pipe and I can't move. What do you aspire to? When life gives you those circumstances? What can you aspire to be as a lowly pipe? I'm sure not in their own pipe-manic way. Playing here on my dad's machine. Yes, we've... I'd say almost 50-50 of the stream we've been in this overworld section. It's really there, as I say. It strikes me as the kind of thing that would almost possibly be a bit divisive. Wait, did we just break the pipe? Oh. Oh, good. So we made that approximately 500 times worse. Oh dear. We'll take the heat for a little one. He'd have to, we'll tell your dad we were the ones who messed this up. That was a good little, oh, I say surprised, that would imply it was pleasant anyway. Look at this. If it's okay. If it's completely okay. All this stuff. There we go. And... oh, we just spin this on that? How do we get that to spin? Oh, do we need to, how do we get up there? I'll get through 4 Swords Adventures. Nice. Although 4 Swords Adventures is a bit nicer than the 3DS Zelda co-op game, which I do like a lot, but that game is like, no, you need 3 players, otherwise it won't work, really. Whereas 4 Swords Adventures, I played through that with my middle brother over the course of several years. I think it was like into the Wii, during the Wii era we finally beat it. But yeah, 4 Swords Adventures, you can have AI partners as well. Well, not AI partners, you just have both players swap between the... There's always like a dummy link that you kind of swap between. But yeah, obviously the ideal way to play is with 4 people, so Jara plus 3 nephews, plus 4 Game Boy Advances, plus 4 Game Boy Advance to GameCube connectivity link cables, plus a GameCube memory card, plus a copy of the game, which is probably have its value, plus a GameCube or Wii, plus a GameCube HDMI lead, or a Wii component cable, or another way to make it look good on a modern TV. It's sorted. But okay, I guess we can't completely fix this mess out here yet. But you're not too mad, are you? No, see? It's quite matter of fact about it. Paul. What, as in a certain NSW mongoose we know? I didn't have it down as the carnivorous type, but yeah. So here we go. Okay, for some reason, so okay, so we've got it looking kind of Game Boy-y. I mean, obviously, not really, but pretty reasonably so. So if I take the Game Boy, the color filter off. There we go. Oh no, I think it's the Game Boy. I think it's the Game Boy Color not Game Boy Color, as in the color of the original Game Boy filter. That was making my frame rate drop then, as if that was more demanding. And this is still like, you'd think this would like drop graphics card use down to nothing, but I guess it's probably rendering at the higher resolution than going down to that. It's still surprisingly quite readable, honestly, I think. Actually, despite what I just said, I'm not completely sure what that fin is above my head. I don't know what this looks like on stream, but oh no. Oh no, yeah, I had a feeling it was, see, I thought it might have been a barrel, and it was. So the game is completely playable like this. In fact, we'll see how far I get before I die. Which will be very soon. Oh, we've also got the 4x3 fin on, which, fun throwback, but, oh gosh, hold on. Yeah, sure. There we go. Look how good this game looks in 4K. Hey! I get the impression the Switch version still looks very nice. I mean, apparently it's not like native rares, but you know, it's running at full frame rate, so fair trade. I mean, it is not this. Oh, poor Switch. Oh. Actually, honestly, yeah, I'm not minding it that much. Like, if you're minding it to watch as a stream, I do apologise. I don't know, I think it's quite novel. And as I said, I believe this is meant to be like the original Game Boy resolution, which is 144 by something. It's obviously quite minuscule by today's standards. But yeah, I can tell what that enemy is. I can read these platforms. I can't feel my eyes right now. I think they've fallen out of my head, but still. I think it's quite fun. Ah! I don't think it's fun is missing that feather. Go back here.
Oh, looks like a turd.
No, it doesn't. I mean, well, probably, but no. Only compromised a tooth. It's not 240. I think it's like 540. I think, if I remember from the Digital Foundry video. So yeah, definitely not native, but again, a fair trade-off, I think, just to have it running at full frame rate. Yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of fully committed to this because I'm an idiot. So we're staying on this resolution until I die, as I say. Unfortunately, this seems like a gentle difficulty level, so it might be a while until I die. Oh, nice job, a Mud Runner. I don't recognise that game, actually. Oh yeah, you Bellion. You're the Digital Foundry person to talk to, aren't you? Yeah, quicker though. Does the can you like link Dolphin with like a Game Boy Advance emulator, so you can replicate the GameCube to Game Boy Advance connectivity? That'd be really fun. And I guess sort of a practical way to, like, I mean, you'd probably want, like, multiple monitors, I guess, and it would all be delightfully bizarre, but that would be a sort of practical way to play, something like Four Swords Adventures or, original Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Oh, like that's meant to get a remaster at some point. Cool. Yeah, I'd be able to read everything, yeah. Honestly, it's Ooh. The thing that's a bit of a shame though is I don't think we're getting... No, we're not getting any, because you get bonuses from some of the, like, the ones that make the game harder, you get bonuses from. The ones that make it easier, and I think just the silly gimmick ones like this, because it's like the big head mode as well. There we go, gosh. Like, I don't think you get a bonus one way or the other on those. You think this would be like a 20 times, Cricken? Yeah, so you insult this, you insult my graphics card. This is as high a resolution as I can get to. So be nice. Actually, I kind of wonder how this... Now that I think about it, so I do wonder how the stream compression is dealing with this. I don't know how blotchety this has got. I mean, it is blotchety in a way on my TV, but obviously not in a way a stream would be blotchety. Ah. It'd be really funny if this was the part of the stream I was dropping frames on suddenly. God, imagine playing that at a resolution above, like, 10p. That'd be so stupid. We're doing the ideal one here. Okay. Alright, I've had my fun. And don't worry, I'm paying the price for this because I've lost all the feathers I got in the level so far. There we go. Look how boringly clean and nice and pleasant it looks. Oh, what a downgrade. If we must. Yeah, sorry. The moment someone was like, their eyes hurt, I'm like, okay, no. But I'm also the person who set the Spyro Reignited trilogy to like 10 frames per second as a lark one time, so I don't think I take my viewers' eye health into account enough, clearly. So the problem would be a bit mad, isn't it? Hey, there you go, Grub. See, a lot has happened today. Just in the span of that very small period of time. Yeah, the funny thing is, that bomb thing I just threw, I never really want to use that on enemies, because you... because you usually... Oh shit, oh, I was meant to use it there, actually. No, never mind. See, that's why I don't like to use it on enemies, because you usually could get a secret with it. But I feel like a bit earlier in the level, we were doing bits where, it was kind of demanded. Oh, there's gotta be something down there, but... Very well. Grubber's in PC. Can we go back to 14p, 3 frames per second? I'm sure there is like a tonic that... I'm sure there is like a low frame rate tonic as well. I know the original ukulele has an N64 style tonic, which the frame rate gets pretty appalling on that. I guess probably mimicking like Banjo-Tooie rather at its worst. I was a bit shocked watching footage again of Banjo-Tooie how low the frame rate did get on that one. I remember it generally being pretty alright in the original Banjo-Kazooie. I think Banjo-Tooie is just a game that pushes the N64 like just in every way possible. A Superman 64 tonic! God, I hope so. I mean, heck, I could see a mode where you go through rins in this, and and it's awful. I can see that. I'd be down with that. I mean, I did download a high-resolution texture pack for Superman 64, so there's clearly intent for me to finally experience it. So hopefully in time. And no, I did not stutter. There is a high-resolution texture pack for, well, like one that uses that recent upscaling tech. This is a beautiful use of modern technology. I think you'll agree. Crop. Oh wow! Now we're really deep diving on N64 stuff now. Talking about the technology that powered it. Nice. Oh god! Ah! Alright, be careful here. Actually, ah! Remember I said I need to be careful here. I bloody well meant it. Watch that. Here we go. Ooh. Oh look, to be fair, there was a checkpoint right before the level exit, so... They obviously knew idiots like me would die here, so I appreciate that. Ooh. Up we go. Oh, oh god, we're going too quick to get those. There we are. Thank you, man. Yeah, so it's a bit of a shame. I almost wish I streamed this on the day this went free on the Epic Store on PC. Because I'd just be saying repeatedly, go get it now, but it was only for a day. And I still redeemed that, even though I ended up redeeming all of those, even when I already owned the game on Steam, but... It's a bit of a shame, because in a way I think it implies this game didn't sell very well. I don't know if there was much momentum going in from the original Yooka, unfortunately, but... If nothing else, Epic would have paid them for that, so that's good. I take it back, this game sucks, I hate it. Oh lord. I mean, I think you can underclock the N64 via, like, emulation, or maybe underclock original hardware as well, so... Oh, Joe, you streaming VIC-20 would be... Oh, that would be so cool. What would be a VIC-20... I want to say there's a VIC-20 game, at least one, made by HAL, Satoru Iwata's developer. So I think it was the VIC-20 they got started on. So maybe you could find that and stream that. I think I saw as well, Joe, I think you were saying you were thinking of streaming Fallout 76, showing off your crib in it. You don't need me to say that, I would absolutely be there for that. I want to see you describe it in Animal Crossing terms. Like, talk about the is it Feng Shui rating? That's not how you pronounce that, is it? Feng Shui? Talk about how good a house it would be by, is it Lyle? No, who's it that rates the design of the houses in Animal Crossing? Is it Lyle? It's not called the somewhat doable lair. Well, the thing is, we're not technically in the titular impossible lair. That's the last level that you can actually attempt at any point, weirdly enough. With the idea being that as you go through the game, you get more of these bees, like we got bee Vanson there. And I think they just basically count as like extra hits in the impossible lair that you can take. Lyle, there we go. Thankfully not Lyle Landley. I think he's a bit more trustworthy than that. Right, let's quickly catch up on chat and then we'll be right back, I think. Yeah, apparently it does take a big difficulties, but I'd still recommend it. It's still very fun. The thing this game does, it's a little bit similar to like a lot of recent Nintendo platformers, where if you die loads of times on a section, it'll let you kind of move on to the next one. I assume there's probably some, like, you don't get all the bonuses or whatever, but it's still like a nice way to kind of you know, let you get past certain bits if they're proven to be. Paul knows. Paul knows, good lad. Have I not got a voice clip from the monorail episode? Oh, I really should change that. It's one of my all-time favourites. Just had them sit in monorail for the song. Oh, that'd be lovely, Joe. Obviously no pressure on that, just whenever you fancy it, man, but I look forward to that. Even if I'm not able to watch it at the time, I'll definitely watch some of the VODs from there. Well, Paul, I've told you many a time, take my penknife, my good man. So, on that, possibly cliquey note, but that's worth it. We shall be right back, Gun. Stick play this music on. Enjoy this weirdly good song from the game based on the Waterworld movie on SNES. Which is surprisingly actually... I'll move it forward a little bit. There we go. Partly to delay the song that Cricken's requested. You'll see why when it comes up. Oh, it probably will come up still. But yeah, back in oh Cricket. Back in a second, everyone. Cricket! Damn it! Why did I make you moderator again? Actually, why is this not playing? Oh god, I'm so sorry, everyone. I can't believe you did that. Oh god, here we go. No, Paul, I'd be happy with that. Please change it to monorail from this. Brace yourselves. Brace yourselves, even.
My love is sweet. Yes, I'm cooking for my son and his wife. It's his 30th birthday. 4 berries into my bowl at the milk of 2 months ago. It's more than mom, isn't it? I don't give a flying fuck about. The shape of love. Love is sweet. You were born in the 60s. We made the war with the Vietnamese. We love LC, we die easily. Can we just say, shut up? So what, Sarah? For your own sake. Do you have a headache or a heartbreak? I moved broken by the birthday cake. You and me so on the uptake. I put a pot in the birthday cake. So what, Sarah? For my own sake. Watch out, yo! Here comes yo! I'm gonna change your rock on sake. Turn up the TV, do you agree? Yeah, I'm taking turkey, take it from me. I'm gonna show my love for my dad, but it's more than mom, isn't it? Extra sugar, extra salt, extra oil, energy. Extra sugar, extra salt, extra oil, energy. You know my love is sweet. You know my love is very sweet.
was about to go quicker, and again I was like, oh, it's Grum. Yeah, it'd be quite fun to change the game to Mother 3. I mean, we've already played through Mother 3 on here, but... Cricket. That's such a mischief maker. Oh, Lord. Oh my god, Jesus, they're all coming out now. All the greatest hits. Oh god. Including the time I let a civilian die as Spider-Man. Oh. There have been some dark times on this channel. The viewer numbers went up since that. So, funny enough, Joe, I was sort of worrying, like, oh god, is the viewership gonna drop? Oh, really? Oh, hold on. Actually, yeah, hold on a second, sorry. Oh god, yeah, sorry, hold on. My microphone's being weird. Hold on. What is that picking up? Yeah, so I don't know if you can hear me over this. I don't know what's causing it. It's really bizarre. There's not really any sound going on in my general facility. I'm sorry if it's like really... It looks like it's going very loud on here, so I do apologise. I don't know if you can hear me at all saying this, but... Yeah, let me have a quick look. Yeah, so the weird thing is, I can hear whatever is causing that when I turn my volume on. I'm so sorry about this, guys. This is start of a quick diss track. Yeah, I hope it doesn't cause any havoc now. I'm gonna try and plug in my headset completely. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh, I think we're okay. I think. All I did was like plug things in and out without really. Can you all confirm? Does it seem to have stopped? Actually, it looks like something's popping in still. Oh god, what the hell is... Ah! Welcome to 2020, goddamn. Let me try and plug it in another port. Alright, how are we now? Fingers crossed. Please, please work. And let me... Oh my god, what's this? Respect. Oh, respect your elders. That's nice. Hey, I'm so sorry about that, but that was thoroughly unpleasant. God, that was weird. Truth be told, this might be sacrilege. I've actually been plugging the headset into a USB hub. And I think that was cool. I mean, I've just plugged it directly into my computer now. The only problem is, oh, the lead is so, like, the wire, what do you call it, the wire covering, the wire sheets is sort of, it's getting a bit precarious there, so I don't know how okay it is like that. You're about to hear a sound now, that's me putting my fan back on, because I... Turns out that was not what was causing the pop-in, so that's nice. Right, okay, let's finally get back, shall we? Thank you for your patience, everyone. Let's just stick the, I guess no more USB hub. Fair enough. Stick that there. Oh, by the way, completely not related to anything. Has anyone here watched Steven Universe? I've been watching that here and there on Netflix and really enjoying it. Really funny, interesting, creative little show. Steven Universe, that is. Although my brother was complaining to me, they've got season 1 and I think 4 on there, but not 2 or 3, so... I mean, season 1 is like loads of episodes anyway, but... No, a really funny little creative show, which I've heard about for years, but just never got around to. And the episodes are like 10 minutes a pop, so they're quite nice and snacky. I shouldn't say the word pop, should I? That's going to cause the popping again. Hello, Jeff. Oh, I wonder where Jeff is, actually. Still about. Oh god, this is weird. So, this really mixed the... Well, I guess we're going into a story. I guess we're going into a book, aren't we? Like, in my head, I was trying to visualise it. So, the level is on a moving conveyor belt, which in itself is moving. But yeah, I guess it is meant to be in the book. I've really liked the episodes I've watched. They've generally been very funny and very sweet-natured. They're very well animated as well. There's some really good little animation quote-unquote flexes. Like there's bits where the camera, or the quote-unquote camera changes rapidly. And like the perspective on the character is animated so smoothly as it does that. I explained that horribly just now, but trust me, it's very cool. Honest. But yeah, if it gets better as it goes along, nice. I mean, it's quite... oh, let's get the be right back fin off, shall we? I suppose the episodes aren't linking to each other too... I mean, there's a bit of continuity. I don't know if maybe as it goes on more, maybe it gets a bit more into having continuity between episodes. Because obviously with so many animated shows, especially ones that would be primarily aimed at kids, although I know this one has a very big adult following as well, which I'm about to become a part of, I guess. Yeah, like typically with shows like that, they have to be syndicated, so they can't really have too much in the way of content, like one episode leading to another. But I think with the advent of streaming and the way people tend to consume shows these days, maybe as it went on over time, the kind of producers or whoever got more confident they could do that. Oh, actually no, I didn't feed them on the weekend because the owners were back. Time to do that, but I did walk the greyhounds both days, Saturday and Sunday, Jara, and they were impossibly delightful. I mean, of course they were. They're the greyhounds. Best buds. Okay, Laylee's still like Laylee, the bat here, is also still the best bud, thankfully. If she flies away, she won't be, but then I guess that would have been my fault anyway. Yeah, I suppose the show is a little bit Monster of the Week, but it usually... I think they find a way to present it in a way that's quite, at least so far in season 1, there's been more of a fun twist to it than, it hasn't felt especially formulaic. I don't know if maybe it will after a while, but I suspect that like the reason the show really resonates with people, perhaps that does come later, but I'm still really liking the early episodes. There's such cool wild character designs in it as well. Yeah, yes, I think it's Cartoon Network. Yeah, I just watched it on Netflix, but so I know you like Adventure Time as well, which is also Cartoon Network, isn't it? I watched the entirety of the first season of that in one sitting with some friends once. Unfortunately, I've not seen much of it aside from that, but I did like Adventure Time and its bizarre warped logic that it works on. It's very fun. Yeah, I suppose it's perhaps tough, like with a show that's going to be shown on something like Cartoon Network, they probably still want you to be able to tune into an episode and follow it regardless. So I suppose there's kind of only so much they can do on that front, but at the same time I've seen stuff from later Steven Universe and they're clearly at an older age by that point. Like the stuff I'm watching at the moment, he's just like, he's a tubby little kid, and the later season, or at least the most recent stuff, seems to paint him as kind of a teenager now. Yeah, I haven't seen too much Gravity Falls, but the few episodes I watched are very funny. It's quite a sardonic sense of humour for a Disney property. And I think everyone's seen that image of the gnome vomiting a rainbow from it, which is curious. And the grandpa character's very funny. I assume that would all be on Disney Plus, right? Although I've seen people kind of rightfully worry that, like I saw someone make the point, you know, we might not have Simpsons on UK Disney Plus. Because there might be something there with, like, Sky having some sort of broadcast rights to it. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that would matter too much, given obviously Disney do own it in a sense now, but I don't know if there's some bureaucracy that needs to take place there before that happens. So I mean, my hope was by the time Disney Plus comes over here, they fix that issue with the aspect ratio on the American Disney Plus, where they've really awkwardly cropped episodes so they can fit widescreen, but then that means you end up missing details, including parts of jokes and such. But they have like said, like, after people reacted negatively to that, like, oh, we're gonna fix that. But as I say, people have made the point, well, not everything that's on American Disney Plus might be on UK Disney Plus. Even if they own it, I mean, there's already been talk of them taking stuff on there which they own. And people think that might be a repeat of the Disney Vault practice they did back on, like, VHS and such. Where they would just make some of their own content scarce for a while to kind of drive up demand for it. Isn't capitalism great? Yeah, it'd be super handy for, like, just shows like that just to be, seemingly the approach of Disney Plus was everything in the kitchen sink, like, even some of their weird, not very widely remembered TV cartoons, was showing up on there as well. Hey, if it has all of Recess on there, I might have to go through all that again. I think Cricket would be with me on that. Ah! Cricket! Oh, don't do that to me, man. Next time somebody has like chromatic aberration and I'm trying to think of the other things I don't like in that round. You kind of hit most to all of them there, really. Yeah, that is a big problem, Joe. Yeah, absolutely. There are way too many. It's when you got like individual American channels like trying to do it as well, like well, not ABC because that's Disney, but I think it was like HBO. No, it wasn't the. There was one where that was like the final straw for a lot of people, and they were like, "Guys, there's too many of these now." And of course, the problem will be is when you get like exclusive. I mean, everyone's got to point this out. I'm just reiterating what other people smarter than me have said, but of course, the problem is the thing that's been good of a lot of these streaming shows, the streaming. With something like Netflix, is it's kind of dissuaded people from piracy just because it's so much easier just to like stream a thing, right? But the moment you get into this complication of needing so many setups, and then a lot of people are going to just go, oh, bugger it, I'll just pirate it instead. Right, Warner are doing that, it's like, oh god. Yeah. It's all a bit, I guess it was inevitable, really, wasn't it? I think the reaction of the consumer to it will be interesting in terms of if there's any kind of burnout or, as I say, it would not surprise me if piracy increases for a lot of, I mean, not quite directly related, but I know a lot of people in the UK are pirating The Mandalorian because I mean, a lot of fans don't want to wait, like, however many months until Disney Plus comes out every year, so of course they're doing that. Poor Yooka, that doesn't look very not painful, having a big berry hanging out of your gob like that. He's a good sport. Oh, I should have stayed on that. How did this not occur to me sooner? That's taken straight out of Donkey Kong Country as well. That just having the conveyor belt go along a path like this. Like there's an entire level in Donkey Kong Country 1 dedicated to that. Yeah, that's what makes this so cool in a way. Just a lot of these people who made those Donkey Kong Country games return into a game like this. So I'm really pretty much nailing it all over again. Really nice to see. As I say, I'm really enjoying this. Yeah, that might be a good shout, Cricken. Yeah, it's an interesting challenge in terms of how you monetize. Oh, that just leaps around. Oh, I should have dropped off into that middle bit. Never mind. Yeah, because I could see it getting to the point where people only want, like, say, Netflix for the original Netflix shows. There we go, this is what I was meant to do originally. Which I probably would have realised if I paid a bit more attention to the environment around me. I assume this is a David Wise song here. This sound like him, that being the Donkey Kong Country 1, 2 and Tropical Freeze guy. We've done alright on this thing. We never get all 5 coins. We usually get like 2 maybe, so quite happy getting 4 on the level. Oh god! Oops. I hate being one syllable into saying lovely and then having it in a hopelessly ironic, cruel twist of affairs, completely oh god, I can't even articulate that. Yeah, I screwed up. Yeah, I don't... God, Amazon, speaking of fuck capitalism, Amazon are vile, aren't they? They're so bad as a company. I mean, pretty much every big corporation is, but even by that metric, they're so bad. Pay your goddamn taxes if you're a multi-billion, or probably multi-trillion dollar conglomerate like they are. Oh no, you billion! I'm really liking it. I perhaps wouldn't quite put it on the level of, say, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which just has a stellar soundtrack, but I still have very much liked it. I'm sorry you're not that keen on it. Maybe you'll find a tune or two later that's more to your taste. Oh gosh. Ah! Look back, Laylee. That's a shot. Lovely. I mean, what the hell is Sticker Bush Symphony, though? You know, that's, that, of course, being the tune from the Donkey Kong Country 2 Bramble levels. Like, that song is just... Oh, God, how do you surpass that? Or even beat it. It's so good. Cool. I'm not sure how many Bs, or I guess by extension levels, there are. I think I've read 40, maybe? Ooh, wow. Yeah. Oh, so if we get a fin on that, I guess that'll reverse all the conveyor belts, maybe? Sneeze while playing the traditional game of balance head-on crate. Good lord! You know when, like, older gentlemen sneeze and it's like the room shakes? I think that's what this little one did. Oh. You probably not much articulation in those arms to get a tissue sorted for that, so... I'm surprised they have sinuses, or, like, the capacity to sneeze at all, but... That's my fault for reading into any of this, really, in any capacity. It's all a bit of a laugh, really. Especially when I get burned. Yeah, some nice, it's reminding me of Banjo-Kazooie's, like, Grunty's Lair, where you get, like, the main overworld theme that transitions into different versions of it as you go between areas. I did see why I needed that bomb. Where did I? Oh, no, we need to use a flower on that. I need to use a water one on that. Oh, you I really do. Well, I think this game's excellent. I mean, I obviously have to get to the end of it before I know for sure. Like, it's certainly one of my favourite new games I played of last year. Although, to be honest, I actually haven't played that many. Relatively, anyway, I haven't played that many of like the really big new games that came out last year. Most of my game, I think like quite a few people in our group have talked about this. Most of the games I played last year were from prior years. Like, one of the best... Oh, of course we can move it. There we go. So yeah, like, one of my favourite games I played last year was Mother 3, but... that was, 2006 or 2007, I forget. Heck, I think even if you go by the fan translation of it, I was still playing it like eight or so years later. If not more so. Yeah, cricket. There's a fair bit of that in the Donkey Kong Country games. That's what happens when you get... It's like how there's like Pictionary on theirs as one of the secret best soundtracks on the system. Like, no joke, like, look up the music to Pictionary on NES. It's got Tim Follin on it, who's like one of the all-time great game composers. And he gives a grandeur to Pictionary that you wouldn't really expect from the material. With some pretty amazing like guitar solo sounding things or prog rock sounding NES tunes that are pretty incredible and musically quite interesting. Bloody Pictionary. Be wild. There we go. Struggle a bit with that. Shot. Yeah, these are really fun, these overall bits. I actually could see the benefit from stereoscopic 3D a little bit, as in like 3DS 3D. Just to be able to make things perhaps a little more easily determined distances, but to be fair, I think they still layer it cleverly enough, that's not too much of a problem. That would be quite neat to see. I don't know, this is just like a really tightly designed, well-made little platformer. And even though I did like the original ukulele, I do understand where its critics come from, and I do see how this is really a much better put together game. Although again, I think I don't know, I still really like the original ukulele. I think perhaps the team were a better fit for a 2D game like this, which maybe a bit easier to attain a really good game from on a lower budget. Oh, you want to play balance? Oh, right, that's so we can do that now, isn't it? Cool. The balance on their head. They seem so keen for that. Whew. Yeah, what time are we? Oh god, we're past 10. We'll keep going for a bit. Not until 2, I swear, or even like, probably even 11. I don't want to go past 11, really. Never mind. Oh. Just the conveyor belts are going there. Yeah, this might be a very similar level, just the conveyor belts are going the other way. So I guess some of the levels change more than others. Actually, I think that's new though, I think. So you have to forgive me, it's a bit hard to remember. Oh, good. It's hard to remember like 5 seconds ago. Oh, this tune's new, isn't it? Okay, this is a really good tune. Come on, you must like this one, Eumelion? I mean, if you don't, still fair enough, but it's a cool tune. Should have rolled to it actually. Never mind. Yooka to a Oh, they should have kept that naming scheme. Well, I mean, I guess this isn't technically a direct sequel. I mean, it is, but it's obviously taken enough of a different form in terms of how it plays that. Is this on? No. Because those cogs have the same symbol as that bomb I was carrying. Let's try it. Ah. I just assume if that Q is on anything, I'd be able to blow it up with that. Maybe not. Oh, maybe I was meant to use it for... Oh no! we did reach it. Cool. Lovely. So, funny thing, the space next to my computer is actually getting really hot because my computer is, I mean, that's my new CPU. It's exuding a lot of hot air from it. Which, I guess means my CPU cooler is working. But god, I need to find a solution to that in the summer. I should check the CPU temperature and whatnot, actually. Well, I didn't intend that as a... It's more of a, oh god, this silly, extravagant purchase I made has caused another problem in a sense. Problem is, where I've got my computer and, like, monitor, TV, like, it's just in the corner of the room with no window nearby, so... There's not really much in the way of an airflow going on here. I guess it's because of that streaming mode I'm using on OBS that's perhaps running a bit ragged. Yeah, 2D Mario games do, I was always amazed by that, like, New Super Mario Bros. On Wii outsold Mario Galaxy, like, if not 3-1, like, not far off that. It was pretty bonk. I couldn't get over it at the time, it's just, I guess just there's that extra... They're just a bit more accessible, I guess. Although something really interesting I read is that, like, Nintendo have been trying to make... They've had that kind of conundrum for years, where there are people who love 2D Mario but can't play 3D Mario. And they've had, like, worries like trying to rein the camera in and things like that, but I remember reading something that said they were worried about having a free camera you could just move it on your own leisure in Super Mario Odyssey. But then what convinced them they could still do that was how popular Minecraft was, interestingly. They kind of realised, well, if so many kids are playing Minecraft, a game where you're always moving the camera, like, moment to moment, very quickly, like, they obviously kind of reasoned, well, okay, we can do that in Mario Odyssey at least. But it's weird to think in that way as well, because obviously there was a time period where, like, the big 2D PS1 platformers generally didn't sell anywhere near as well as the 3D ones, with, like, maybe one or two exceptions, like the original Rayman did very well. I know stuff like Klonoa or Tombi didn't do anywhere near as well as, like, obviously the Crash or the Spyro games. And it really took a while for 3D platformers to get their resurgence. It has finally happened. But I think it'd just probably be a lot easier for indie teams too, if they're going to make a platformer. It's likely easier from a kind of a game development scope point of view just to make a 2D one, isn't it? I think it might still be ahead of Mario Maker 2. For what that's worth. I mean, that's another 2D Mario game, granted, but... Like, I always get the... Oh, God, no. Ah. Right before the checkpoint as well. No, to be fair, checkpoints are quite frequent in this. Oh, it's undone that coin we got as well. Ah. Alright, let's try that again. It feels very weird as well, that Switch release of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, like, it's still having the U in the title? Like, what does that mean in the context of a game that's not on the Wii U now? Like, does someone buy a New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe? Do they know what the U means or why it's there? Like... But then, I suppose they need to make it clear which New Super Mario Bros. Game it is, specifically. It's a bit of a shame as well. I actually really liked on the Wii U version of that. I quite liked for multiplayer the mode where you drew platforms on the touchscreen. It wasn't really a good way to sell the gamepad, mind you, because it was just kind of an incidental feature, but that could actually be really funny in multiplayer, because you could either really help out the other players, or deliberately or not, really just completely botch their... I don't know, you put like the platform right above their heads, so they're just gonna fall to their doom after that. There's some funny moments like that, but obviously that couldn't really make it over to the Switch version. Kraken! Is that how... Oh, well, it is Toadette. Yeah, they did put Toadette in that, didn't they? Because of the whole, her becoming Peachette thing. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, although there is a... It wouldn't surprise me, though, if New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe really ends up having legs. In terms of, as in, like, sales legs, so it just keeps selling. Like, I almost wonder if it's overshadowing Mario Maker 2 a bit, which is kind of insane when you think about it, because obviously Mario Maker's you know, it's a brand new game, which is also probably a much better value proposition. Oh, we were meant to go on that one. Oh. I did like that awkward bunny hopping over the wheel, but that's what we were actually meant to do there. Oh, Kraken. I'm so sorry. Oh, damn it, I didn't mean to go into that again. That's usually helpful, but not in that very particular circumstance. Oh, well, I only sorry, Joe. You must have. I think you posted that in chat ages ago. About BritBox. They've got all of Doctor Who on there. God damn. I probably should be surprised that there's 627 episodes of Doctor Who as well, but god damn. And I imagine Matt and Grub have seen like every one several times over, and I think that's excellent. I mean, that's less than how many Simpsons episodes there are now, I think? Even so, goddamn. Oh gosh. Ah. Yeah, I think this has just been the same level we did before, just with, just with the conveyor belts going the wrong way, but... I think probably with a few minor changes as well. I think some of the levels change more drastically than others with the second variants, but they do get very clever with them. As I say, I like the kind of fun, inventive ways they find to change them on the overworld. The ways you have to kind of influence the level through those. Yeah, this might be one of my favourite songs in there so far. No, I'll try and watch those at some point. Well, at least I'll try and remember to. I probably won't, but I'll try and watch them. I know Matt's been raving about them. The thing that's confusing is they're called the Dracula episodes, right? Or am I just... Because if they are, that's what makes it confusing, because there's also a Dracula show out at the moment. Unless Matt was referring to the actual new Dracula show. I wasn't really clear on that. Yeah, it'd be grand for that, Joe. How long has BritBox been going? Like, I keep seeing the name here and there, but... Like, you can tell I'm not completely clued in on it. Ah, nice, Joe. Because I get the impression the last season had a bit of a mixed reaction. Like people liked the cast. I think it's just they didn't like the. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I'm not very critical when I watch Doctor Who. I just enjoy the silliness of it all. Like a bit of a sci-fi pop. So I'm probably the ideal kind of target person to sort of just. I can do whatever with it. I'll be like, yeah, it's a bit of fun. Why not? Now, right. Let's. Oh, can we just unlock this one? So we're kind of skipping a bit ahead, but I'm pretty sure there's more levels we can do here. Again, we'll have a bit of fun with the non-linearity of it. I mean, mind you, these are the only two levels that have come up on the overworld map. I think we'll go for a little bit longer and then finally call it, I think. To be honest, I was going to wait until the viewer count dropped a bit, but it's actually just gone up. Thank you, whoever that was. Please don't go, it's because of what I just said. But no, I guess that won't be the metric by which I possibly, probably just go until, certainly not past 11. Ah, there we go! Oh, I should have done that way sooner. So we do that. It's a bit of light puzzle solving. Oh, John! Ah, bless you, man. Bless everyone tuning in. Oh, you pallian! That kind of hurts to see you say, man, because you love Fortnite, don't you? Which you're not calling your baby. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say it's your baby. You're not calling Fortnite bland, are you? Yeah, I assume you probably don't get too big by streaming Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, but that's okay. I mean, to be honest, the kind of weird erratic series of games I stream on here is probably... You'd almost think I'm trying to just get completely... trying to constantly out-obscure myself. Not a hipster, honest. I mean, this would be a pretty shit way to be a hipster, mind you, even if I, that was the, for some reason that was the, hand goal. A viewer count will go up if you played these Super Mario Brothers. I'd be down for that. I mean, I'm not, like a lot of people, I'm not completely crazy on the new Super Mario Brothers art style. Partly because they just kept using it over and over, but I do think the games are generally very well put together. I certainly had a good bit of fun with them, especially in multiplayer. I just wish the music as well. I just wish they changed the music more often across them. I'm looking for a bomb, but I assume the one that's in here won't look outside. Was it up here? I can't remember. Yeah, it was. Cool. It's not gonna stay with us outside, is it? Oh, damn it. So where's we get that bomb from, man? So we've got those walls to blow up and the ones up there as well. Ah! Oh, they did a Banjo-Kazooie reference. I mean, well, they probably technically had the whole game, but... Oh, that is... Yeah, so there's a level in Banjo-Kazooie called Freeze Easy Peak. With that same kind of spelling, but they did a thing. They changed it about a little bit. Yeah, no, to be fair, Fortnite is a game with quite a bit of personality to it in a lot of ways, isn't it? I know some of the trailers they do for it, they do emphasise a kind of a pretty fun, wacky style of humour to them. Yeah, exactly, Joa. Which is one of the best Christmassy... I was gonna say songs, that'd be right. Just Christmassy sounding tunes in any piece of media ever. The Freeze Easy Peak theme, it's so good. There's a really nice remix of it in Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts as well. There's like a world called Banjo Land or something like that. There we go, sorted it all out. Really saved your soils. Oh, I thought I said soil sack, I was very concerned.
Hello.
Yeah, no, I'm a bit embarrassed sort of thinking about, oh god, I've said some right nonsense this evening. But I'm glad it's helped accompany your editing work. No problem at all, Hal, thanks so much. Have a good night's sleep. Good night. Oh, Cricket, you didn't like the last Doctor Who series, you thought it was quite boring. Oh, it doesn't have any returning Who writers. God, that's surprising. They're all monsters either. Yeah, so maybe, you know, maybe just second time they've done the rough draft for the first season, so hopefully they can, hopefully the second season people like a bit more. Oh, here we go. I buried my secret stash of waterberries in the dirt up on the ledge to the left. But not in there. I see what you mean. Oh, you have. Oh, wait, what can I use that on? Oh, I see. So, we get you. Are you in here? For Breeze air freshener. I'd buy like an air freshener for my car in the shape of all these pipe people things. That'd be a right laugh. Make the car smell of the suits. Sure, why not? Ooh, is that a... Okay, I like the sound of that tonic. Sounds like secrets, where is that? I love the 2D artwork they've done for these as well. I don't think they've done 2D artwork for Ukulele before these. Thanks for a comically huge ears, that's been me. Yeah, well actually... I think we'll equip that. It's a bit mean that that decreases how many quills we end up getting. Or like the quill bonus, yeah, but... I always want something like that in a game like this. That will kind of help inform us of where secrets are, basically. At least kind of give us a nudge in the right direction. Yeah, it's quite cute, isn't it? Yeah. It didn't even, like, consciously... It was like, oh yeah, of course it's a xylophone. Yeah, it's a fun little touch, isn't it? Where red rock meets green grass. See, that's a bit more of the kind of hint you'd expect from them, those songs. As I say, some of them have just been like, okay, here's a... Oh, that was easy. Yeah, sometimes those signs just like are just like, oh yeah, here's the fin directly, just go there. Which is fine as well, you know. That could work as well. Yeah, how do I get back down? Guys, help. Was I meant to be able to go here? Like this all? Oh, oh, okay. Then we rolled through that. Because that always seemed too easy to me. But I guess we solved like a few puzzles, and I think maybe had to beat a level to get there. What's in here? Ooh, another level. I tell you what, I think we'll do one more level, and then I think we'll call it. Like, sorry, I don't mean this as a flex, I swear, like, God, my PC's really warm. I tell you what it is, though, I'm actually overclocking the CPU as well, so I should probably calm that down a bit, I think. I mean, I'll just quickly, sorry, don't mind the game footage stopping briefly. Let me check, see, like, my GPU temperature, I think it's the GPU temperature too much, to be fair. Like, that's about 70. Kind of fluctuating in the 70s, which, that's about okay. Oh, actually, the CPU temperature's getting quite hot, actually. Yeah, maybe I need to... God, some of that's getting into the 80s. So yeah, I need to maybe calm down the overclocking for a bit, I think. The thing is though, even if I like get another like CPU cooler, like I assume that's not gonna make the space around the computer any less hot when I'm doing that. Yeah. It's a bloody fire hazard, I swear. God. Oh, what's that? You bellying at a skyline and think this city's... oh god, that's made her ears huge. It's a bit distracting, to be honest. It's like the big head mode for Yooka. I thought they would just call her ears big in general, but they actually mean this particular mode makes her ears really big. Can we go in the water? Yeah. Oh, I love that effect in games where the water, where the music becomes more sedate as you go in the water. It was a very fun touch. Ah, keep it slow. Oh god. Ooh. I don't know how we didn't get hit by that then. I'll take it though. Ah! Come back. Ah! Oh, for goodness sake. So yeah, we'll do this level and then call it. And then I'll probably stop overclocking my CPU for the time being. Yeah, like I've looked into like maybe I should get a portable air conditioner for this part of the room. I mean, my room gets warm anyway. I mean, obviously, especially in the summer. It's quite a small room. Yeah, it's quite a large overclock range my CPU has, so I think... As I say, realistically, I might need to get another CPU, like just another fan, I think, for the CPU cooler. But I think that's still just going to blow the clearly pretty crazy hot air that it's currently spewing out anyway, so it's not like the room will get colder, really. And I can't really have the fan on, like my room fan on at full pelt while I stream, because you'll hear it. So you just about have it on that the lowest temperature. Ah, stay with me, Laylee, stay with me. Yeah, so funny story, like I was kind of deciding my old CPU was fine, really, but it was often just below like the recommended requirements of new games. And I also felt like it might have been hamstrung me a little bit when streaming. Especially for like really CPU demanding games. So yeah, I got a new CPU basically back in last quarter of last year. The problem was I was on a little journey with it where first I realised, okay, I need to buy a CPU cooler for it because unlike my current one, it didn't come with one. So I've got like a CPU cooler which has like a comically big heatsink attached to it. But then it's like, well, I actually need a new motherboard that'll support this. And then I also need a new PC case because the CPU cooler I bought wouldn't fit my old PC case. So I've sort of Frankensteined half a PC together. I've still got the same graphics card, which is... that's really the biggest thing in terms of what changes, but I've noticed some, as I say, I have noticed like benefits from the better CPU. And it was me kind of trying to future-proof things for the next few years, basically. Just as I say, when I'm overclocking it, it gets so hot. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about this in the summer. I'll just end up fainting. This might be a cue to go outside at that point, but... Bald and Ash. Yeah. Cool. A nice cozy little... Oh, damn it, Laylee, come on, come on! Oh, thank goodness. Nice little cozy level to end the stream on tonight. Do any of you guys know, is Cumberdane still streaming as well? I feel bad because I did say I'd rate him, but that was under the assumption that I would finish at 9:30. I always think I tend to really like the games I'm streaming, so I just want to keep playing them. Gosh, Cool. Actually, some of the... with that tonic I've got on, that gives the enemies googly eyes, as a result of extra hit points. That does make some of them a bit annoying to deal with, but... it does give me a quill bonus in terms of how many feathers I get, so... I like it for that. It's a funky little tune, isn't it? Yeah, there are... so I got an i7-9700K. I got a... it was expensive, but I got a good deal on it. Like, I don't think I mean, I haven't checked recently, but I don't think it's still gone as cheap as I got it during Black Friday week. And the big thing with it is, so CPUs have a number of cores, right? And my last one had 4, and this one has 8. As I say, it's partly me future-proofing, because I know by pretty much every metric we've heard, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, I guess, right? Yeah, those are basically going to have much better CPUs, so I kind of want to... I kind of knew my last CPU probably wouldn't be up to snuff for like games that were also on those systems. Well, I'm dialing out myself, Jara, because we're going to call it there. We got it for 3 hours. That's pretty good for a first stream back in a while. That was not the plan, but well, it never is the plan around here. Oh, you better. Oh, hi again, so research and upgrade options. Yeah. Yeah. I already felt guilty about the whole stupid ordeal as it was, and then... I was excited in a way, like going PC case shopping, but oh god. And now I'm sort of like, well, I could get some new SSD memory as well, and ooh, I would like one of those new monitors that has this feature and that feature, and oh god. It's an endless rabbit hole. It's a really stupid one to descend down, but boy, it has me in. So on that very positive note, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Well, as I say, I assume Cumberdanes is still streaming. Let's have a look. Ah, he is nice. Cool. Yeah, good pal on here, Cumberdanes. Oh, well, he was in here earlier actually. So, right message. Fuzzy. Okay, well, okay, but there must be something we can make a silly joke out of that we've talked about tonight. What shall our raid message be? I know you're usually on the ball on this this aspect, Cricken. Oh, yeah. Go on then. You see what you've done there? God. You might want to... Oh, yeah. I had a feeling that was going down well. There you go. I'm so sorry. Bloomin' heck. So, yeah. Good night, everyone. Thanks again.